I will go ahead and start sharing my screen. Okay, just to give a heads up for today's schedule, so we're going to be going over our last chapter from up until 7:45-ish, and then we will take, again, a 5-minute break. And then the Kahoot today, we will play Kahoot for sure, but this chapter is actually more on the shorter side, so the chance that we're going to go over some review problems from, I think, chapters 3 and 4 is pretty high. So we will just spend time on doing review problems until maybe I would say 8:10-ish, and then we can go ahead and play Kahoot. Okay, so today our last chapter focus is on problem-solving strategies in geometry. And our first section is going to be talking about the extra line. And we're going to be starting out this section with a problem. So in triangle ABC, AM equals MB, MB is perpendicular to BC, and EC is perpendicular to BC. If triangle ABC's area equals 24, find the area of triangle BED. To give a hint on how you can solve this problem, you can draw lines, hence the name of the section, the extra line. So I think there's more than one way to solve this problem, but one way is to draw an extra line so that you can eventually start working your way through the problem.
I have a question. What do they exactly mean by find problem? From 9.2, what do they exactly mean by find triangle BED? Do they mean like find the length?
The area.
Oh.
Yeah. Or remember the brackets? If there's a bracket around, like for example, triangle BED, then that means that you want to find the area. Or so, for example, this is saying the area of triangle ABC is equal to 24, and this is area of triangle BED. Give you a few more seconds and then we can go over the problem together. Okay. So by extra line, I was referring to, you could have drawn an extra line there. Okay. So we can't find anything about the area of triangle BED, BDE. That should say BED, sorry, easily. But we know how to relate triangles, the area of triangle AMC and the area of triangle BMC to ABC. So we can draw CM. And so that, yeah, as I was saying, that would be the extra line that you would have one of the extra lines that you could have drawn. CM is a median of triangle ABC. Remember, median is it's the line that extends from one vertex of the triangle to the opposite side, where so for in this case, point M would be intersecting AB right at the center, right at the middle, so M would become the midpoint. So CM is a median of triangle ABC, so we have the area of triangle BMC equal to the area of triangle AMC, and that's going to be equal to 12. Now look for ways to relate them to the area of triangle BED. Triangle BED and triangle BMC overlap. When we take out triangle BDM from both triangles, the two triangles that share the side DM are remaining, triangle EDM and triangle CDM. Because DM is parallel to EC, the altitudes to side DM of the triangles are the same. So the area of triangle EDM is equal to the area of triangle CDM, meaning that the area of triangle BED is equal to the area of triangle BMC, and that is going to be equal to 12. So notice how we first added an extra line and then eventually we took out triangles so that we would only have triangle EDM and triangle CDM remaining. So you can alter the shape, I would say, that you're dealing with so that you can either visualize it better or so that you can, just get rid of the shapes that you really don't need anymore because you already use them to figure out the problem. And also it might just get crammed, so it might just be easier to take out some shapes. Okay, I will go ahead and go to the next problem. So next we have problem 19.3. In triangle ABC, angle ABC is equal to 120 degrees, AB is equal to 3, and BC is equal to 4. If the lines that are perpendicular to AB at A and to BC at C meet at point D, then find CD. Just a small hint, but so we can see that ABCD is a quadrilateral, and we know that the angles in a quadrilateral add up to 360. So if you can find maybe I would say 3 of the angle measurements, then you can find like the remaining angle measurement that you need, and that can start you off somewhere. Okay, so I'll go ahead and go over this problem. Okay, so first we note that angle D, because we know that C and A they're equal to 90 degrees and ABC or angle B is equal to 120, we can subtract 360 minus 120 minus 90, and we would get 60 degrees. Then we might think about drawing BD, since that would form a right triangle, but we only have one side of those two triangles and we don't know about their acute angles. So then since we want to make use of the 120 and 60 degree angles, we think about 30, 60, 90 triangles. We can see that by extending DC past C and AB past B to meet at E, along with a right angle, so that would be angle BAD, and a 60 degree angle, which would be angle D, we'll get a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So as you can see, basically we just drew up a vertical line, and then we also drew up a slanted line that continued DC, and they would meet at point E to form a big 30, 60, 90 triangle. Additionally, because angle CBE is equal to 180 minus 120, which equals 60 degrees, and angle BC equals 90 degrees, triangle CBE is also a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So then from triangle CBE, we have BE equal to 2BC equal to 8. and EC equal to BD times the square root of 3, which would be equal to 4 times the square root of 3. And from triangle DAE, we have the following. DE is equal to AE times 2 divided by square root of 3, which is equal to AB plus BE times 2 divided by square root of 3. And finally, you plug in values to get 22 times square root of 3 over 3. So CD would be equal to ED minus EC, and finally you would get 10 times the square root of 3 over 3. Okay, so I will first go back to the first, this slide, give you some time to just go over the answer, and then we can go to the next slide after that, or the second slide, and then we'll go to the next section. Okay, and then here's the second slide. Okay, all right, so then we can go to the next section, which is 19.2, and it deals with assigning variables. And we're going to start the section off too with a problem. So AD is equal to AE, and F is the intersection of ray ED with angle C's bisector. If angle B is equal to 36 degrees, find angle CFE. One way that you could start this problem off is by, you can first establish equations, and then you can find what angles are equal to each other, and then you can use variables to represent those angle measurements. And just keep track of which angles are equal to each other. Okay, I will go ahead and go over this problem. Okay, so as I was saying, or to give a hint in the beginning, first you could have established equations. So you would have done, or one equation you could have established was angle B plus angle ACB plus angle A, and that's going to be equal to 180 degrees. And then you can also establish that angle ADE is equal to angle AED. And then you can finally establish that angle EDB plus angle DBC plus angle BC plus angle DEC is equal to 360 degrees. And to keep track of the angles that we're focusing on, we're going to assign variables, as I previously hinted at. So we can let X equal angle CFE, angle ADE, which is going to be equal to angle AED, would be equal to Z, and angle ACF, which is equal to angle FCB, would be equal to Y. Next, we look for other angles that we can mark as X, Y, or Z. Triangle ADE gives us the following. Angle A is equal to 180 minus 2Z. Then triangle ABC gives us angle A plus angle B plus angle ACB to equal 180. So then we can get 180 minus 2Z plus 36 plus 2Y, which would be equal to 180. So y would equal z minus 18. Now we can decrease the number of variables in the diagram, and we can redraw the diagram so that only x and z variables are used, and that will be shown actually on this slide. Again, you can decrease the number of variables so that it gets one, less confusing, because the less variables we have, it's just more of a simpler, it's a more of a simplistic life for us, I guess you could say, when it comes to math. And we also know what the measurements, if in terms of z are for these two angles. So because angle FEA is an exterior angle of triangle FEC, angle CFE plus angle FCE would be equal to angle DEA. So x plus z minus 18 would be equal to z, so that x would finally be equal to 18 degrees. Okay, so I'll go ahead and go back to this slide so that you can review the information on here. And then we can go to the second slide again, and then just quickly look over that.
I'm just wondering, is there going to be any sort of quiz on at the end of the classes? At the end of like, you know, all the classes, at the last class, are we gonna have the test or something?
That will be up to Adrian, because he will be in charge of the last class. I don't know if he's planned anything yet, but that could be a possibility. If you guys want to test on this, on the material, then I'm pretty sure he could arrange something. But yeah, you can always, well, I think he's on the call, so if Adrian, if you want to talk about it later, or if you have any like ideas about what you want to do, you could always like talk about it if you want some time. But yeah, it's going to be up to him to see what you guys do for the last class. Okay, I'll go to the next slide. Do you want a quiz or a test, Kessler?
No, that's why I'm asking.
Okay. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, these questions take a lot of time, so.
Yeah. So. I'm pretty sure he's not gonna like arrange a quiz or test or anything, because I feel like this class is more like laid back in the aspect that you don't get a grade for it, or like you don't necessarily have mandatory homework, or like we haven't had to like take quizzes or tests. So I don't know, I feel like it would be kind of a curveball if we just suddenly gave you a test. But yeah, I wouldn't expect a test.
Also, for the Kahoots, the review Kahoot, what chapter are we doing?
Today is like a mix, I would say. It's like area.
Can you at least specify a range?
Let's see. I would say it's like, okay, areas of circles, analytic geometry, let's see, it's figuring out angles, areas of triangles, finding perimeters, maybe I think there's some angle bisectors in play. So it's like it's a mix of things. You'll see what the Kahoot is like once you start playing.
I have another army of Kahoots.
Oh yes, your 4 accounts that you made.
Nah, I was going to do 16, but then I realized that I just only need to do one.
Okay. Wow, 16. Okay. So next we have problem 19.6. Points A, B, C, and D lie on a line in that order. AB is equal to CD and BC is equal to 12. Point E is not on the line and BE is equal to CE, which is equal to 10. The perimeter of triangle AED is twice the perimeter of triangle BEC. Find AE. So I just gave you the image because I felt like it was going to just be a little bit harder to try to imagine the shape. So to make your lives a little bit easier, I just went ahead and supplied you with the image, but yeah, okay. So I'll give you some time to try to figure out this problem.
Points A, B, C, D lie on a line that in order. AB equals CD and BC equals 12. Point E is not on the line. And BE equals CE equals 10. The perimeter of the triangle AED is twice the perimeter of the angle BEC. Triangle PEC. Find AE. For some reason, I found a way to sort of a way to solve it.
Okay. Do you want to explain?
Proving that I'm supposed to be proving that these two triangles AEB and ECD are congruent, and it does not work.
Okay. Okay, I will go ahead and go over the answer then. Okay, so as the diagram shows, we're going to let x equal AE. And let's look for other sides that we can express in terms of x. All these equal side lengths, AB, which is equal to CD, and B, which is equal to CE, will mean AE is equal to DE. So let's try to prove that. BE is equal to CE, so angle EBC would be equal to angle ECB. So angle EBA is equal to angle ECD, and triangle ABE is congruent to triangle DCE by SAS congruence. So DE is equal to AE, which is equal to x. We need more information, so we look for more lengths we can express in terms of x. We have AB and CD left, and we know that the perimeter of triangle AED is twice the perimeter of triangle BEC. So we get AE plus ED plus AB plus BC plus CE is going to be equal to 2 times parentheses 10 plus 10 plus 12. By substituting, we get 2x plus 12 plus 2AB, which is equal to 64. So AB is going to be equal to 26 minus x. So we add all this new information to the diagram, but we're still stuck. The isosceles triangles gives us a clue to build right triangles and use the Pythagorean theorem. If we draw altitude EF, we can create right triangles EFC and EFA. From EFC, we get EF is equal to 8, and now we're able to build an equation for x by using the Pythagorean theorem for triangle EFA. So EF squared plus AF squared is going to be equal to AE squared. So 64 plus 32 minus x squared is going to be equal to x squared. This means that 64 would be equal to x squared minus parentheses 32 minus x squared. If we factor the equation's right side as the difference of squares, we get 64 is equal to parentheses x minus parentheses 32 minus x closing parentheses and then closing parentheses times opening parentheses x plus opening parentheses 32 minus x closing parentheses, and that's going to be equal to parentheses 2x minus 32 closing parentheses times 32. If we solve for x, we would finally get 17 as our final answer. Okay, so I will first go back to the first slide and then give you some time to go over the information, and then we can go to the second slide, and finally we will go to our last problem for this chapter. Okay, I will go ahead and go to the second slide. Okay. Let me exit out again, and then, okay, there we go. Ready to slide. All right, so our last section is proofs. And we're going to only be dealing with one problem because this problem is actually pretty long. Okay. Oh, I just realized I'm showing the answers. Let's me add the animation. Okay. So M and N are the midpoints of B, C, and CD. And AM and AN meet BD at points X and Y. Show that BX is equal to XY, which is equal to YD. Again, this one is, I think this
Or
is.
in other words, X and Y trisect BD.
Yes. Yes.
I just asking technically A B C D, that's a square. A B C D is a square.
Yes.
How you can prove it is that two sides already have an equal length, and unlike a rectangle, they are not parallel. Those two equal sides are not parallel. They're they intersect. So that basically proves that they're a square.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever.
And BD.
And don't say the answer.
I'm not. I'm just saying that BD is literally a diagonal line that's cutting them. So
It's, yeah. No, it's, I feel like you guys understand why. BX is equal to XY, which is equal to YD. It's just a very long process. I don't think you have to be this detailed because the solutions is actually 3 slides long. But yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. You can just, even though you're not supposed to make assumptions based off of figures in geometry and just in general, you can see that, you know, bx is equal, they just look like they're equal lengths, but you just have to prove that they are. But yeah, I just feel like it's like,
just prove it.
huh?
I'm just saying the two known equal sides are the two equal sides are basically the two known equal sides are all both intersecting.
Okay, I will go ahead and go over the answer. Okay, so based on the diagram, as Kessler pointed out, AB is going to be equal to BC, which is going to be equal to CD, and finally DA, so that's going to be a square, or ABCD is going to be square. And BM is equal to MC, which is equal to CN, which is equal to DN. We want to figure out the following, which is BX is equal to XY, which is equal to YD. And in order to prove that BX is equal to YD, we're going to use congruent triangles, so we'll search for them. Triangles ABX and ADY look congruent, so we can figure out if they actually are. Because ABCD is a square, AD is equal to AB, and angle ADB, which is equal to angle ABD, would be 45. Now we just need another angle to prove congruence. If we look at the diagram, we see that angles XAB and DAY are also parts of right triangles BAM and DAN. Because AD is equal to AB and BM is equal to DN, triangle BAM is congruent to triangle DAN by leg-leg congruence or side angle side. So we have the following. Angle XAB is equal to angle MAB, which is equal to angle NAD, and finally angle YAD, meaning that triangle ABX is congruent to triangle ADY by SAS. We now know more information, and we've simplified our problem so that we just have to prove that BX is equal to XY. Okay, by looking at the things that we just proved, let's see if here I can display the image. I'll just copy and paste it because I think having the image up there is probably a good idea so that you have a reference. And then I'll do that for the third side once we get there. Okay, so by looking at the things that we just proved, we can also figure out that by is equal to 2bx or by is equal to 2dy. On the other hand, if we can show that bx is equal to bd over 3 or xy is equal to bd over 3, we'll be done. We now have a lot of things to deal with, and we don't have any more congruent triangles that we can investigate, but the ratios that we have discovered, such as xy is equal to bd over 3, let us know that we should look for more similar triangles. To be specific, we have triangle DYN is similar to triangle BYA because DN is parallel to AB. We can then use these similar triangles to learn more about BY and DY. DY over BY is equal to DN over AB, which is equal to CD over 2 over AB, and finally you'll get 1/2. Now we can look over our steps to get a solution. And then I will add the image here again. Okay. So because AB is equal to AD, angle ABM is equal to angle ADN, and DN is equal to BM, triangle ADN is congruent to triangle ABM by SAS. So angle DAY would be equal to angle DAN, would be equal to angle MAB, and that will finally be equal to angle XAB. With AB equaling AD and angle ABX equaling angle YDA, we have triangle ABX being congruent to triangle ADY by ASA, so then BX would finally be equal to DY. And since DN is parallel to AB, angle NDY is going to be equal to angle YBA, and angle YAB is equal to angle YND, so triangle DYN is similar to triangle BYA. This means that DY over BY is equal to DN over AB, and that would be CD over 2 divided by AB, which we finally get 1/2. So dy is equal to by over 2, meaning that bx is equal to by over 2, and xy is equal to by minus bx, which would be equal to by over 2 too. So finally, we would come to the conclusion that bx is equal to xy, which is equal to yd. So since that just gave like a generalization of what we just did, I'll just display this last slide, and then we will be done with chapter 19. But we have, I realized that I forgot to go over the last section of 17.6, which deals with advanced analytic geometry problems. So we will go over those problems. Okay. So finally, this will be our last section of this entire course, which is 17.6, and it deals with advanced analytic geometry problems.
Why do we jump from 19 to 17?
Oh, because I just forgot to include, or I just forgot to go over it because I wanted to have time to play the review Kahoot, so I just never went over it. Technically, this is supposed to be part of chapter 17, but yeah, I just didn't go over it, so we're just going to just look over it now. Okay, and then this is just like just a side note, but when dealing with analytic geometry problems, generally speaking, the first step is to draw a diagram. So without further ado, let's jump into our first problem, and then we can take a break after this one. So for problem 17.22, we want to find the area of the region that is bounded by the lines 2x plus 3y, which is equal to 31, and 5x plus 2y, which is equal to 25, and the coordinate axes.
Find the area of the region that is bounded by the lines 2x plus 3y equals 31 and 5x plus 2y equals 25 on the coordinate axis.
Yeah. So basically, the teacher already connected R and P, and basically, it is very evident what is the areas of the triangles, like literally their whole numbers.
Yes, so it was this problem was more on the straightforward side. Technically, again, you're not supposed to get the image, but I was just thinking that it would be easier to give you guys the image, but then that just simplifies the problem a lot more. But yeah. Okay, so we can go ahead and go over the problem. But yeah, basically you would just find the area of these two triangles that are formed. So what we would first do, I'll just go over these solutions, but again, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, PQRS is not one of our special types of quadrilaterals, so it's not going to be obvious as to how we should find the shaded region's area. But by looking at the graph, we can figure out that you can divide the quadrilateral into two triangles. So the graph of 5x plus 2y equals 25, or line K, intersects the x-axis at the point 50, and it intersects the graph of 2x plus 3y equal, which is equal to 21, or line L, at the point 35. So PQ is equal to 5, and the altitude from R to PQ is equal to 5. We can then figure out that the area of triangle PQR is equal to 5 times 5 over 2, or 25 over 2. Similarly, the graph of 2x plus 3y equaling 21 meets the y-axis at 0, 7, So PS is equal to 7. The altitude that extends from R to PA, sorry, that should say, well, okay, I don't know what I typed there because there is no, okay. But altitude, I meant these right here. So you can see that, yeah, it's basically equal to 3 if you turn your head sideways. So then the triangle area of, or the area of triangle PSR would be equal to 3 times 7 over 2, or 21 over 2. Therefore, we now have the area of quadrilateral PQRS is going to be equal to the area of triangle PQR plus the area of triangle PSR, which would be equal to 25 over 2 plus 21 over 2, and that would be equal to 23. So again, this is pretty straightforward with the image. All you had to do was literally just find the area of two triangles and then add them up, and then you would have gotten the area of the triangle. So yeah, okay. So it's 7:46. I will give you guys a 5-minute break and we will go over the last problem, which is 17.25 in 5 minutes. Okay, so it's 7:51, so we will get back into our last section, which is 17.25. So medians XA and YB of triangle XYZ are perpendicular to each other. If angle YXC is 90 degrees and XY equals 8, what is YZ? And I just included an image up there. You can see that we use a variable Z, so that could help you out. But yeah, I just included the image up there because I thought it would make your lives easier to just envision what the triangle looks like.
For analytic geometry, we should really sometimes we should be finding midpoints and perpendicular lines.
Okay, so I will go ahead and go over the solution. So we're going to let x be the origin, and x would be the right angles vertex. This would allow us to structure the triangle so that y is going to be on the x-axis and z is on the y-axis. So if you weren't given this image and you just knew that medians XA and YB of triangle XYZ are perpendicular to each other, angle YX, or this, just if you knew this information, what I would do first, or what I would recommend you guys to do first, is to draw the two medians and then make sure that they line up with the triangle, because I feel like it's easier to start with the medians because you know what medians are supposed to, what they are. So then if you were to draw two perpendicular medians, then you can draw the triangle that corresponds to those two perpendicular medians, and then you can align that triangle up to the x-axis and the y-axis, because it just makes your life a lot simpler compared to if you were to just jot out the triangle on graph, but then like you would have to, it would just be a little bit harder, I would say, and just aligning the triangle up on the axes, it's a better visual help. Okay, so because xy is equal to 8, we're going to let y equal 8, 0. Then we can let z be 0 to z, where z is equal to some value, and we'll be using 2z instead of z because the chance that we're going to be working with midpoints is high since we're dealing with medians. If we find z, then we can use the distance formula to find yz. So yz is equal to the square root of 2z minus 0 squared plus 0 minus 8 squared. And that's going to be equal to the square root of 4z squared plus 64, which is going to be equal to 2 times the square root of z squared plus 16. Now we can find the coordinates of A and B in terms of z. Since A is yz's midpoint, its coordinates are 4z. Because B is xz's midpoint, its coordinates are 0z. But now what do we do? Well, we know that xa is perpendicular to yb, and since this is the case, the product, should not say produce, product of the slopes of lines xy and yb is -1. So the slope of XA is going to be equal to Z over 4, and the slope of YZ is going to be equal to negative Z over 8. And to continue on, so this means that we're going to have, if we multiply the two slopes that we just found together, that's going to be equal to negative 1. So this is going to give us negative Z squared over 32, which would be equal to negative 1. So Z squared would be 32. Now we find YZ using the formula we previously figured out. So at this point, we're just plugging in numbers. But YZ is equal to 2 times the square root of Z squared plus 16, which would be equal to 2 times the square root of 32 plus 16. And finally, we get 2 times the square root of 48, and that would simplify to 8 times the square root of 3. So that would be our final answer. So I will go back to this slide first and give you time to look over it, and then we can go to the second slide, and then we will be done with all of the chapters of Intro to Geometry.
So are we going to do the Kahoot now?
We're going to do review problems, and then
Okay.
I would say we can start playing at 8:05 maybe. So yeah, we'll have like less than 10 minutes of some review problems, or maybe like 1 or 2 to go over, and then we can play Kahoots from 8:05. If we have extra time, then we can go back to the review problems. Okay, so we can then go to this slide. Give you a few seconds to go over it, and then we'll go to the review problems. Okay, so now we can go over some review problems, and we left off at problem 3.25. So for this problem, I think, okay, this chapter deals with congruent triangles, so we're going to be talking about triangles. For this problem, yes.
Can you get an is there an image or no?
No, there is no image for this one, but I mean, we're talking about an isosceles triangle, and if you recall, the base angle is one of the 2 congruent angles. So if you could come up with a formula for the base angle, then you can solve for x. Or sorry, you can come up with the formula for a vertex angle. Or
technically, if one base angle is 6 degrees less than half the vertex angle, the other base angle is the same thing.
yes. Okay, I'll go ahead and go over the answers. But we're going to let the measure of the vertex angle equal x, and each base angle is going to be equal to x over 2 minus 6. So then the 3 angles would add up to 180. So then we would get x plus 2 times x over 2 minus 6, which would be equal to 180. So then finally, x would be equal to 96 degrees. Okay, I feel like that was a pretty straightforward problem. But I'll give you a few seconds to go over this one, and then we can go to the next problem. Okay. So next we want to find x in the diagram shown. Hint, hint. We're dealing with parallel lines, so what would happen if you extended this parallel line out? Okay, I'll go ahead and go over the answers. So, yes.
If 2x is parallel to line CB, would an angle line A is parallel to CB, wouldn't 2x equal angle C?
Yes, that's true too.
So basically the explanation here says it all. So basically it's just 5x equals 180.
Yes.
So x equals 36.
Yeah.
I found this all by myself. I did not look at the diagram.
So yeah, this would be 2x because the lines are parallel and there is a line that's intersecting those two parallel lines. So then you would add up x plus 2x plus 2x or 5x to make 180. So then x would be equal to 36 degrees. Okay, that was pretty straightforward. I'll give you some time to go over the problems and then we can go to the next problem after this. Actually, I think, you know what, we can go ahead and play Kahoot because, yeah, okay. So we can play Kahoot, but we're actually going to combine, I would say, two different Kahoots. There we go.
Why is the Mississippi River so unusual?
What?
Why is the Mississippi River so unusual?
I don't know, because I don't know why.
Because it has 4 eyes and can't even see.
That's funny.
What is the best thing to do if a bull charges you?
I don't know.
You pay it. The bull charges you money.
Oh. That's funny.
I have a good joke. Why are oranges always bullied in school?
Why?
Because the bullies want to beat them up to pulp.
Oh my
Why
god.
are teddy bears never hungry?
Because they're already stuffed.
Because they're stuffed.
What do you call a fairy that has not taken a bath?
Wait, a fig?
A fairy
A fairy.
that is not taking a bath for 100 years.
A hag?
No, Stinkerbell.
A Tinkerbell.
You get little Tinkerbell, you got Stinkerbell.
I don't know Tinkerbell because I don't watch Peter Pan.
But whatever, it's Stinkerbell.
Is everybody in the game or everybody who at least wants to play or?
Numero, Okay, pneumono ultramicroscopic silicovolcanic. How do you spell it?
IT.
Oh,
Okay. I'm gonna start the game.
What is the number of square units in the area of a triangle whose size measures 5, 5, and 6? The number of square units in the area of a triangle whose size measures 5, 5, and 6.
you want square root p times p minus a times p minus b times p minus c. There's a formula for it.
P
What
minus,
is-
P minus a plus p minus b plus p minus c.
No, if you don't know the formula, whatever. There's another one. You can use the Pythagorean theorem.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's anonymous?
How do I know?
Who's
A, B, C,
anonymous?
and B, F, G, R squares, B, C, and A, blah, blah, blah. Find the
Equals an equilateral triangle. Find the degree value of angles GCE. GCE. GCE.
How do I know? Oh,
Oh, troll.
Oh, trolls.
Yeah, you thought
Never has money.
what?
What bank never has money?
Snowbank.
Or a riverbank? When is a car not a car?
What is it when they take the gar out?
No, when it turns into a parking lot. You get it?
Oh, no.
Like when it turns, like it
know.
does a left turn into the parking lot and it turns into a parking lot. What are the two things you cannot have for breakfast, no matter what?
A table and a chair.
No, lunch and dinner. You can't have lunch and dinner for breakfast. What has many rings but no fingers?
What has many rings but no fingers?
Yep,
Your ring finger? No. Wait.
Sonic.
telephone.
I said Sonic.
Oh.
What?
Because technically Sonic has a lot of rings.
I do not know what that means, but whatever.
Okay, AB equals AC and DE equals DF, angle BAC equals 20 and angle DEDF equals 30. Find it. The triangles have equal height.
If equals AC, D equals DF, BAC is 20, EDF is 30. They have equal height.
BAC
Equal.
BAC equals 20.
I am going insane. DAC, ADE. Yeah, in me.
Me confused.
Yeah, me confused.
It's angle DAC plus angle AD.
Okay. I'm just going. I don't know what I'm talking about, but whatever.
Aren't they basically equal angles? Because they're same.
No, they're not.
Oh wait. Yeah, they're not. They're not. But that doesn't mean we can try.
Whatever. I'm just trying to solve the problem now.
Think about right angles and perpendicular bisectors.
Well, okay, I have a joke. Why does everybody hate skeletons?
How do I know?
Because for some reason they
I'm
always have a
because
close-
I'm guessing. Okay, how do you do this?
Actually, how you do this is because there are uneven angles. All I do is just run a bit of equations just to see which one can possibly be true.
I don't know what's going on, but whatever.
The answer was For some reason, they always have a bone to pick with you.
Angle A equals angle B. What is X?
Isn't that technically an isosceles triangle? So so 3x
Yeah, that's an isosceles triangle.
an isosceles triangle.
Yes. So everyone choose the answer that has 4 sides. Wow. I said 4 sides. Why did someone choose circle?
A circle's area is x and its circumference is y. The value of x plus y equals 80 pi. What is the radius of
You
the
got
circle?
pi r squared plus r pi r equals 80 pi. And I'm solving that.
The circle's area is x and the circumference is y. The value of the x plus y equals 80 pi. What is the radius of the circle? Isn't the radius the circle the diameter divided by 2?
Yes.
So all you need to do is just find out the all you need to do is find out. All you need to do is find the circumference. So the circle's area, okay, I'm just guessing 8.
Apparently I solved a quadratic equation and you're correct.
I didn't even do anything. All I did was use common reasoning.
What I did is solve a quadratic equation.
Yeah.
All I did was use the common theorems. All I used was common theorems.
Okay, whatever.
All right.
Howie Wowie is just getting 0 points.
What is the measure of the
Acute angle when it's in.
What's the measure of the acute angle formed by?
Oh, thank you for the picture, Mister.
940. What the? Okay.
Enough.
Oh.
Ah!
Oh. Woo!
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't.
Oh.
Oh. It's pretty easy. All you need to do is divide. All you need to do is just remember what the degree angle is of if it's 8. All you need to do is find the degree angle when it's 1040, and then basically find 2/3 of that. I gave too much of hints, so now it's all up to you. Find 2/3 of one of the angle to be exact. The angle portion formed by 940. I mean, not 940. 9. Yep, 50.
Oh my, last second.
Look, Howie Wowie is just still at 0 points.
Oh my gosh. Good thing I did at the last
QR
one.
and
Q
QR
equals PR.
find X.
QPR. What? Okay, I'm just gonna find X.
Wait, technically angle Q is 65 degrees, but it's so X is basically 65 degrees. So angle Q is 65 degrees minus X. Is that true?
Yes. Or wait, which?
Great. My hand slipped again.
Hardy.
My hand slipped again. Why? Why?
Because literally, when you're playing a Kahoot, your hands always sweat. Do not.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense.
Wow, I guessed it and I still got it right. Hardy.
So you're the one.
I'm
So-
the one who's getting smarter.
My hand slipped, okay?
My hands are literally sweating and you're still complaining. And I'm the only one who got it right.
Oh, thank you for thank you Anonymous for losing their answer streak.
In the diagram below,
Now I
line
would
same
hint
line
you
or
check.
parallel, find the measure of angle x in degrees.
Is this
96.
over easy or what?
Okay, so
Exterior angle equals the two interior angles is sum that are not adjacent to it.
when I just want to just say please.
So the answer is 30 plus 30. Just what? Why am I the only person that answered? Come on, the exterior angle equals the sum of the two interior angles that are not adjacent to
The
it.
triangle have the same area.
What?
Find the triangle's height h in the terms of the square side
People.
length s.
Was that necessary?
Why can't it be?
Find the triangle's height in terms of s.
The square and the triangle have the same area. Find the triangle's height in terms of the square side length. What is the side length?
The side length is s.
S.
Just imagine s is 1 and then find h, and then you just.
Whoever gets this wrong shall be grounded for a year.
No, it's called 1 millennium.
Millennium. Okay, that sounds better.
This is pretty easy, so you either don't answer or get it correct, or else if you get it incorrect, yeah, whatever.
Okay, so.
Hello, Mr. Rock and Roll. Yeah, the image is tricking us. The answer is what you think the answer is. Don't look at the picture. The picture is trying to trick you, because the answer is something, and if you look at the picture, it doesn't look right, but it's right. So choose your answers.
Well, okay, so.
May the force be with you. And what?
Oh wait, that should not be the correct answer.
80 RD.
Sorry, it should be 2s. It should not be 2s squared.
Can we go soon now?
So we get our points. We get
Yes,
our
Yeah, we get our point.
triangle with the legs 10 and 8 are similar to another triangle with corresponding lengths x and 5. 5x. The triangle with legs 10 and 8 is similar to another triangle with corresponding legs x and 5. Find x. Okay. So isn't that...
Guys, there can be multiple answers. There can be multiple answers, so don't fall for the trick.
RD, 80, RD, O. So you're
I
saying...
don't think there's no answer if there's no 4. There are multiple answers. There's no 4 here, so it's a different answer.
RD, 80, RD, O.
Now that was a nice one. As said.
How is Howie Bowie Wowie still at 0 points? What is the measure of the
He hasn't been answering, I think.
double the measure of its complements? What is the measurement of an angle whose measure is double the measure of its complements? That's just...
This should be pretty easy, you know?
Dang it, my hand slipped. My hand...
Unknown to all.
I know, I was going for 60, but then I slipped. Literally. 5tan y in the right triangle shown below. Tan y. What's tan again? Tangents?
Opposite over adjacent.
Oh no, my hand slipped again.
R.
Arr.
R. R.
Arr.
You got it.
Why do I have to get it wrong?
A circle area has an
Who
area
has an area of pi?
length of the circle's diameter. How am I supposed to know?
You have to find it out.
You have to find it out, not me.
Come on, it's 1. Oh, really? So I really fell for it?
How is Howie Bowie Wowie still at 0 points?
How do I know?
Has a circumference of 8 pi.
Yeah, this should be evident.
2
Two
sectors.
sectors of a circle of radius 2 are placed 5 by 5, side by side, of A, B, C, D.
A, B, C, D. Isn't it basically a half circle?
Nope.
It is.
No, it's not.
I said it at the last second. I said it is not.
Oh, okay, good.
Artie.
Barty.
You already got me. $12 pi.
Everything's not awesome. Yay.
Wow, how am I still at 3,542?
Wow, how am I still second place?
What is the perimeter of one of the 4 congruent rectangles per picture? Pictured.
Pictured.
Turd.
Turd.
2y or 4y? Y over 2? No. What is the perimeter of one of the 4 congruent triangles pictured? Question. Why does nobody get an Ice Cube's sense of humor?
Because it's cold.
Because it has a cold sense of it. It's so easy. Wait, can you go, dang it, could you go back to the rectangle?
Never mind. Oh, great.
644. Wait, isn't the degrees at 640 it was let's see, 50. So
No. That was 840. Yeah, that was 840.
Yeah, 840. Oh, 644. Dang. Wait a minute, we can still use the same mindset because it's still 1 hour and 40 apart from each other. So basically we can still say that the answer has to be near 50 degrees. And because it is a slightly adjusted angle, we can just say that it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit on the bigger side, on the farther away side. So 640, so 44 degrees is 1/5. Wait a minute. Let me think again. So 50.
Wait, don't skip the question yet.
Do not skip the question yet.
Yeah. You can skip the question now.
I'm still down.
Why am I still
If
second place?
And angle AFG equals angle AGF, how many degrees is angle B plus angle D? Angle B plus angle D
Oh.
It's got to be less than 100 degrees.
Come on, I repeat that two interior angles, the sum of two interior angles equals the exterior angle not adjacent to it. You may skip the problem.
I think I'm waiting for, all right.
Come on, anonymous.
The two figures are made of
What is the positive difference
of the perimeters?
Perimeters.
All right. What is the positive difference between the perimeters?
What you do is called counting.
Wait a minute. Can you just move the two move these two squares, and then it can make a rectangle?
Whatever.
Isn't it basically a rectangle?
Stop.
You think I was being serious about that one? Of course I know it's not the answer.
Just count them. It's pretty easy to count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13.
Oh, great.
Triangles are equilateral. D and G are midpoints of AC and AE. AB equals 4. What is the perimeter of the finger A, B?
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K.
What is the perimeter of this thing? Wow, I don't know.
How do you not know?
Wait a minute, this is equilateral.
So what?
Boom, 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 boom. It's
Boom,
basically
boom, 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 boom. Now make all that far.
the whole figure is literally made out of the whole figure is literally made out of equilateral triangles.
Oh,
which-
to make
which
good
are
on
the
the
midpoints.
note
literally-
the farm.
So figure this 4,
E,
2,
O.
A-E-I-O-U. So 4 plus 4. Why is it? I still don't have enough time.
This is my only chance.
In the triangle ABC, AB equals 17, AB, AC equals AB, and BC equals 15. Let D be the foot of the altitude of the C to AB. Find the area for triangle ACD.
What? I have to draw a picture.
Find the area of the triangle ACD. Can you not put fractions? Fractions just
This
make.
is the last question, so I was like, why not finish?
Why not put fractions?
Yep.
Why? Ah. 3,000.
This is my last chance, so I'm just gonna give it a guess.
Oh. Why are okay, I have a question. Why are trash cans bad comedians?
How do I know?
Because they have a rubbish sense of humor.
Oh, ha 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 ha.
Just like you.
Ha 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 ha.
Stop saying ha 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 ha. Half of the score taken away from me was misclicks.
Nice.
Literally half of the score that I got was misclicks.
Okay, so that was it for Kahoot, and that was my last class with you guys. So, I wish you the very best with your math journeys, middle school, high school, and I hope you learned at least, one thing from this course. But yes, I wish you the best, and I hope.
Wait a sec.
Yes.
I have something. Why did the bumblebee put honey under his pillow?
I don't know.
He wanted to have sweet dreams.
Oh, I thought you wanted to have a sweet tooth.
Yes. All right. So I really enjoyed teaching.
What is the longest word in the dictionary?
What? Long.
No, it's smile. Because like this S and then mile S. There's a mile between the S to two S's.
Okay, so that was it. Number 11. Yes, I was just checking.
Half of the score I got from the Kahoot was misclicks. I didn't mean half of the score that I got. I meant half of the score that got taken away from me was misclicks. So technically, I still have 10,000. I have 10,000.
Okay, but I'm going to end the meeting. So have fun with Adrian next week, and I will. I guess I won't see you, but I wish you the best of luck with the rest of your education in middle school and high school. And
We will miss you.
Yes, it was nice meeting you guys. So, bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye. Thanks for teaching.